Did you forget something? Did you forget you are the one? I'm here to remind you of that. You know that girl that just walks in and everyone feels her energy? Effortless, cool, magnetic, main character energy. Dream girl. Who doesn't want to feel like that? Well, today I have all the fragrances that bring up this side of me, and I am putting them to my Sue test. Are they special? Do they spark an emotion? Can I see a time when I would wear them? Only if the answer is yes to all three of them, then the fragrance gets to stay. Otherwise, bye bye, no point in holding on. I want to enjoy my fragrances and use them as an extension of my personality. I once used fragrances to escape my current life. Now I use them to empower it. You know, for the longest time I kept collecting fragrances thinking that the next bottle will finally make me feel whole. I discovered that I can use fragrances like a light switch to bring up the emotion that I want to embody that day. But what I ended up doing was buying fancier and fancier light switches, thinking that they will replace my internal wiring. No matter how pretty or expensive the light switch was, the room kept dark. The light was flickering for a bit, but then it turned back to darkness. Here's what I realized. The real source of light is not the switch. No, it's the internal wiring. The calm, the joy, the confidence. All the feelings I was chasing were already inside me. The fragrance is just a tool, a permission slip to flip the switch. But unless I tend to myself with love and compassion, no fragrance in the world can truly light me up. So if you ever find yourself searching for the next fix, the next fragrance, the next big accomplishment, pause for a moment and ask yourself, where in my life do I need more love and compassion? Show yourself some kindness, do inner work. Only after you check your internal wiring, you can let your favorite fragrance be the switch that lights up your life. Let's start with a group of fragrances that are typically considered clean, musky, your skin but better scents. The first one is Eclat Musk K. This fragrance is the one that started my love for musk fragrances. The notes are iris, sand lily, musk. It is very elegant, put together, but most of all, it smells like a dream girl, like the girl that is not even trying. She's effortlessly beautiful, magnetic, she's the main character. What does it smell like? Clean. What I imagine with this fragrance is the winter, and I wake up in the morning, the sun is shining, and I look outside the window and everything is white. It's the first day it snowed, and I go outside and I take the first step and I hear the snow cracking. Everything is untouched and covered with pure snow. Eclat Musqué by Parfums de Marly, Valaya. I have here Valaya Exclusif. This is the fragrance that I wore in Madrid. We had a reunion with my best friends from high school. And yes, we still keep in touch after all this time, 20 years since high school. And this fragrance got me so many compliments. It's put together, effortlessly beautiful. It doesn't shout, but it's still very present. I was not just told you smell amazing. I was asked, what is that fragrance? Is that you, Georgia? Quentin Bish did it again. It makes me picture myself again walking through the streets of Madrid, wet cobblestone, wind blowing through my hair. And it smells a bit like Freon, like air conditioning, fresh air. Beautiful. Valaya, Exclusif by Parfums de Marly. By Armani Prive, Blanc Kogane. This is an underrated fragrance with floral notes, musk. It smells like a very luxurious musk, put together woman that knows her worth. She's not chasing anyone, she's not chasing attention, she just is. And everyone is instantly attracted to her. Fun thing about it, even though in the fragrance community this one is not appreciated. When I had it with me in my travel back to Romania, all my friends chose this as their favorite. I wore Amouage Existence one day, and my friend, the one that was most head over heels over this one, asked me if I'm wearing her fragrance, and her fragrance is Blanc Kogane. Amouage Existence has a similar dry down. That clean soapiness, muskiness, it's a little bit like this. So, Blanc Kogane by Armani Prive. Etat Libre d'Orange. She was an anomaly. I have here the little one. This smells so beautiful, so clean. Again, musk and iris, some fruity notes. What this smells like? It has some fizziness, almost like a Diet Coke, Coca-Cola, that aluminum can. And my boyfriend said that this smells as if you are disinfecting that can. You want to take a sip, but you first want to disinfect it. And then you have those bubbles tingling your nose. She was an anomaly, another beautiful, clean, musky fragrance. And now let's put these 4 fragrances to the suit test. Are they special? Yes, they are. Each of them in their own way. Do they spark an emotion? Yes, they make me feel like a dream girl. Can I see a time when I would wear them? Yes, for all of them except Blanc Kogane. I have not worn it in the past year. I also don't even crave to smell it from the cap. It is a beautiful fragrance, though. I will let it go so someone else can love it and appreciate it more. The next dream girl main character fragrances are more artistic. That's the way I see them. They have something super special to them. By a Lab on Fire, Hallucinogenic Pearl. This has iris, ambrette, suede, musk. It smells clean, but also very special. What this reminds me of, it reminds me of the day I took my driver's license exam. I was so anxious. I was so nervous. It was the middle of the winter. It was ice everywhere, and that only added up on top of my anxiety. At 6 a.m., I had another driving lesson just to warm up, and I put on my lucky boots, my suede boots. They were over the knee. And during my exam, I said to myself that I'm just gonna pretend that I know what I'm doing. The policeman supervisor was super strict. That's what I found out from my instructor afterwards. And I told him exactly what I was doing step by step. I was narrating. Now I'm looking left. Now I'm pressing the brake. Now I'm doing that. I think maybe he said that I was crazy, but at least it helped me feel like I have everything covered. And I passed the first try. Yeah. And this reminds me of that day and of my lucky suede boots. Hallucinogenic Pearl by a Lab on Fire. Next fragrance is by Yves Saint Laurent. Muse Inspiring Ink. This has notes of ink, earthy notes, orris, vanilla in the base. It smells very artistic. It reminds me of the ink that I was using in school. Yes, we used real ink, the ink bottles. And I imagine I'm writing a book whenever I wear this. I wore this for a day trip here in Switzerland. We went to Grindelwald. And I could not smell it during the day. It was super cold outside. And I said to myself, this Muse fragrance is not doing the job. It vanished. And then after a few days, I could smell it on my jacket. It is a weird one. It disappears. I don't really like that. I like the vanilla, but it has that earthy aspect that smells a bit like truffle. I'm not very familiar with truffle. What I am familiar with is cheese with truffle. And it kind of reminds me of that. Muse by Yves Saint Laurent. And the bottle in the pictures online looks purple. In reality, it's more brown. It's more like baby cat. By Jovoy, we have Musc Pallas. Musc Pallas has ambrette, peach, iris, musk, of course, and tonka bean in the base. It is inspired by an asteroid belt, and that's how it wears. It also does a disappearing act. I think it's vanished, but then I can still catch a whiff of it, and it is beautiful. And also it smells a bit like a soap bubble with those iridescent colors, and you can burst it, and then it shows up again. What this reminds me of is meditating. If you started meditating, you know, at least when you start, it is frustrating. You feel like you got the hang of it, but then you lose it, you get lost in thought. But then it's back again, and then you chase it, it disappears. That's the beauty of it. It's about recognizing how our mind is. And this reminds me of that. Yeah, if we are not feeling happy, if we are not feeling joy and at peace, it's because we are lost in thought. Something more abstract for today. Musc Pallas by Jovoy. Christian Louboutin, Loubirouge. This fragrance has been so popular for a while now. I have not seen anyone talking about it. It has vanilla, cardamom, iris. In the beginning, I can smell cardamom, iris, and if I am lucky, sometimes I get the vanilla. Most of the times I don't, and I also get a bit anosmic to it. And it smells like a very beautiful woman. She feels amazing. She's wearing a dress, it's a black dress, super minimalistic. Her shoulders are glowing, her skin looks amazing. This beautiful woman is also an artist. Before going out, she drew some sketches. She's super talented. It also smells a bit like paper. Christian Louboutin, Loubirouge. Now let's put these 4 fragrances to the Sue test. They are special. They spark an emotion. Can I see a time when I would wear them? I can wear them anytime, except Loubirouge. I have not worn it in the past year, so I will let someone else enjoy it. And YSL Muse. I'm not a fan of that truffle note that comes through on my skin, so I will let YSL Muse go. Very artistic, very beautiful. Not for me though. And now I have the best It Girl, Dream Girl fragrances that are a little bit gourmand, just between 1% and 10%. They are not full on edible, but there is something there that is just yum. The first one is by a fragrance house that could have multiple fragrances in today's video. I only have one fragrance from them. Byredo Alto Astral, coconut water, different types of musk, incense. So beautiful, so unique. Smells like coconut water and also a bit like that aloe drink that you can have. Like the most beautiful person in the world that is effortlessly magnetic. And I imagine wearing this at a music festival and I get a little bit sweaty, but I still feel super attractive. I smell absolutely amazing. One day I wore it layered with Michela Mezzetti Lick Me, which is a vanilla waffle cone, and the result was mind-blowing. I got compliments. I went to the hairdresser and she was completely mesmerized. She was asking me, what did I do? What am I wearing? How exactly am I able to smell so good? I loved fragrance in the fragrance community, and not only by Le Liquide Imaginaire Blanche Bete, which means white beast. This smells like a unicorn, like I'm floating through the skies. I'm sitting on a fluffy cloud. It has tuberose, vanilla, mystical, ambrette. I think ambrette plays a key role in some of the fragrances today. That's why they are so special. And what this smells like, for me, it smells like bounty chocolate filling. Growing up in Romania, I moved 10 years ago from Romania to Switzerland. But in Romania, a former communist country, we didn't have access to bounty chocolate until later on. It was super expensive and it was such a treat. By Attar we have Skin Musk. This is again musk, peach. It's like a musk bomb mixed with some candy. It is very, very strong and very artificial on my skin. It's not a skin mask at all. It's like a bombastic mask. And I have seen some comparisons to Roja 51. Not at all. It's very artificial. And I cannot really wear it, so you know what's going to happen with this one. Bond number 9, TriBeCa, hazelnut, cocoa. What's the way to say it? Cacao. Moss in the base, ambroxan, but it's not an annoying type of ambroxan. And it smells a bit like Baccarat Rouge, 540 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. If you make it in the form of a cappuccino with whipped cream on top. It is a beautiful fragrance, but one that I have not been reaching out for lately, so you know what's going to happen with this one too. The next fragrance I was considering placing on my cozy, comforting scents, my warm hug in a bottle. However, it is more than that. It is an it girl, a dream girl in a bottle. It has vanilla in the title, but on my skin it's woodier. Navitus Vanilla Eclat. This is created by the lovely, amazing Chris from the Perfume Nest. I was pleasantly surprised that it is more than just an edible vanilla, and it's not even edible for me. The sandalwood really comes through, and it also has rice. It is very, very special. I don't have anything else like it. It provides comfort, but it also makes me feel attractive, like I have that je ne sais quoi, like I am a cool girl, but also very approachable, but also very elevated. That's exactly how this smells like. Navitus Vanilla Eclat by Jacques Fath, a fragrance that was released this year. Musc Couture. It has musk, dried red banana, cherry. This smells very elevated, but also clean and also sweet, and also a bit powdery and also a bit fizzy. The cap is magnetic, super strong magnet here. Yeah. I wore this one in my trip to Barcelona this year. I can picture myself walking through Park Gay with that incredible colorful architecture and the nature, and me surrounded by this beautiful scent bubble. Beautiful Musc Couture by Jacques Fath. Another incredible fragrance by Caron, Tabac Blanc, which means white tobacco. There is also Tabac Blonde. That's not it. This one is the This fragrance doesn't have tobacco. It's a metaphor for tea. It has white tea, mate, cocoa, cinnamon, vanilla, iris. I randomly received a sample with one of my fragrance purchases a few years ago, and I tested it on my skin. I said, yeah, it smells nice. It smells like luxury. I searched online and the price was 300 Swiss francs. No way I'm going to pay that for this fragrance. And what I do now that I'm decluttering and selling my fragrances, whenever I prepare a package, I will include one of my samples as a free gift, because I know how much joy it brings me to receive a new fragrance that I was not expecting, just to try it on. And when I was preparing one of the packages, I found the sample of Tabac Blanc. And I sprayed it on my skin and I went through with my day. And I was getting wafts of the most beautiful fragrance pulsating from my skin. And it was Tabac Blanc. Let me see if the price has changed. I was amazed. I found this one at 120 Swiss francs here in Switzerland. So what this smells like? It smells elevated. It smells elegant, like French luxury. It also provides comfort, like a warm hug. It has a little bit of everything. It makes me feel feminine. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel clean. Whenever I wear this fragrance, I want to make this my signature scent. I feel like Marion Cotillard walking through Louvre Museum. She's amazing. It's one that doesn't bother my nose. You know how some fragrances are super strong and I get tired of them. This one is very soft, and one of the first times I wore it, we went out and I felt like I wasn't wearing anything, and then I could get my sillage in the air. I thought my boyfriend is smelling like this, but no, it was me. It's a beautiful fragrance that dances around you. Tabac Blanc by Caron. Now let's put these fragrances to the suit test. All of them are special. All of them bring an emotion. Can I see a time when I would wear them? I cannot see a time when I would wear TriBeCa and Skin Musk. This one is beautiful, but I have not been reaching out for it in the past year. This one It's very artificial on my skin and I cannot wear it. So bye bye. Today's wisdom is by Lao Tzu. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. What do you think about that? Let me know below. Let me know also what brings up this dream girl, this main character energy in you. Never forget that you decide your words, you decide your actions, you decide your habits, you decide your character. Never forget that you are the one. You decide who you want to be. And everything is a reflection of that. Thoughts can come by and let them go. No need to chase them. No need to act upon them if they are not serving us. It's up to you. So now you know all about dream scents, but what about the side of us that wants a warm hug? Well, watch this next video where I am sharing all my cozy, comforting fragrances and decluttering them as well.